What's up guys, Chasing Lamely here with episode number 7 of Welcome to Wroxham. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, ring the bell, share with your friends, all that good stuff, because things are starting to ticking along with this series now. Today's episode we are playing a league game because we've not played a league game in a while, and it should be an absolute cracker. So let's roll the intro and I'll see you on the other side. So here we are then, and today's opponents are going to be AFC Sudbury. We're playing them at home at Trafford Park in the pouring rain, which is good. In terms of progress though, the league performances have not been brilliant. We are sitting 15th in the league at this time, and you can see why from the league history we've got since the game against Braintree. We played Grays Athletic, lost 3-1 with a goal from Ryan Hawkins. We then lost 2-1 to Haybridge with a penalty from Jared Small. A 1-1 draw with Lowestoft Town with George Morrill scoring. Another 1-1 draw with Tilbury with another goal from George Morrill. We didn't score for the first time in many games in a 4-0 loss against Hullbridge before a 1-1 draw with Witham Town, a goal from Harley Black, and another 1-1 draw with a goal from Harley Black against Malden and Tiptree before a 4-1 loss against Bury Town with George Morrill on the score sheet. But I'm also been making some reinforcements. There's been some stuff going on. We'll meet the new players when we get to the team sheet, I think. But there has been a big departure. And that big departure is Josh Hazel, our star centre-half, who has gone to play for Middelfart in Denmark. They just came in. He wasn't under contract, so they just came and took him. Unfortunately, so we have lost Josh Hazel after 18 appearances with a 6.87 rating to go back to the third tier of Danish football. This guy's been back and forth all over the place, really, with his transfers. So seeing him go to Denmark, not a huge surprise. But we will miss him, and I've not really been able to find much in the way of replacements. Most of the reinforcements I've made, honestly, have been attacking. We're going a bit Keegan. So let's go meet the team, shall we? So today's starting lineup, and I have to try to remember who we have and haven't met, because it's been a bit of an overhaul in players for us over the last few weeks. So James Gore, you've definitely met. I don't know if you've met James Hurley or not yet. I don't think you have because he hasn't played. James Hurley, new right back, 16 years old. He looks like a decent prospect. Can play right back. Is a right wing back. In fact, I think I signed him as a right wing back, and I've been training him to play at right back. He's finally got it. So he can finally start. That's how that went. In the centre of defence, we've got Harrison Mellors and Ricky Smith. On the left back, I don't think you actually met Jack Lewis yet. Jack Lewis has played a few league games for us, but he's not playing any of the cups, so I don't think he would have. He is a pretty decent left back, Northern Irish, 17 years old. Regen, so no career history to speak of, but Jack Lewis is starting to like a real player for us. A definite new signing, because I only signed in the morning of this game, is Andy Clancy, a right winger who was actually kind of linked with bigger clubs than us. I don't know why he chose to come here, but he's chosen to come here. 16 years old again, and he looks like quite the player in terms of this level. Okay, he's not as quick as I want from a winger. That we can work on in training. That's not an issue. But he can dribble really well for this level. Got a good first touch for this level. Good technique, good off the ball, really good work rate. Works well with the team, makes some good decisions, good determination, actually quite fit for this level. And he should only get better despite his eggy head. And alongside him in midfield, we have another new signing. This is a real player. Daniel Vegetali is an Italian 18-year-old who used to play for Udinese. And he popped up because I literally went to the search bar and I started typing in random names. Daniel was one that came up. I was like, Vegetali's a funny name. He looked like he'd be alright because he played for Udinese, so I offered him a contract. And look at this player for this level. 15 for first touch, 13 for long shots, 12 for passing, 12 for tackling, 15 for technique, 13 for work rate. This is a beast of a player for the level of football we're playing at, and probably a beast of a player for the levels above as well. Harley Black and Simon Lappin complete midfield. Up top, a new striker for us. Again, actually signed this morning in game times. Darnell Minters, formerly of Huddersfield, of Brighouse and of Emley. Someone seems to be screaming outside, that's very weird. But We'll ignore that because it's none of my business. Really, really quick for this level though, this guy. Good finishing, decent composure, decent dribbling, decent first touch, decent technique. His passing for an advanced forward, a little bit suspect. We're going to be going route 1, so he shouldn't have to do a lot in the way of passing, although I will try and work on that because one definite weakness in this boy's game, it's got to be said, but he's good with both feet and he should get us a lot of goals, so we'll look forward to seeing what Darnell Mintus can do for us today. He lines up alongside Ryan Hawkins playing as the pressing forward. On the bench, Kean Summers, you've met. This guy, Benjamin Garwood, is a 20-year-old formerly of Notts County, Corby Town, Rushton and Diamonds and Sleaford. I signed him from Sleaford, he wasn't under contract, and he looked like he was decent because we look at his stats at 657 in what I think is the tier above. If it's not, I've made a huge mistake. But he should be decent. He's had 2 goals from right back as well, which is a little bit disgusting, and he does at least bring the pace to the party, which is something for us to be thinking about. Kian Pereira, of course, is on the bench. Ogulcan Güler is a Turkish 16-year-old that I signed. For some reason, he didn't need a work permit, which was a bit curious, but I'm not going to question. I expected one of those players. I had to wait a while to join us, and he just kind of did. So we'll take him. Winger, can play on both wings and is mostly right-footed, but, equally decent with his left foot, which gives us options at the very least. I don't know why he's in the under-21 squad. I think I've got to move him up when he signed. But he has decent pace and decent technique and decent potential, 4 to 5 star potential. So we're going to see what he turns into for us. Maybe he's a long-term player for us. Maybe I've made a huge mistake. Roger Lewis is another player I don't think you've met yet. He is a Welsh 16-year-old that I signed a while ago. He's just been kind of developing in the youth team, and I finally had him step up to the firsts again. Can play on both sides. Will mostly play as a left winger, but can play on both sides. Tom Bell is a midfielder that I signed. Again, a bit surprised to get him released by Huddersfield a few years ago. I guess he gave up on trying to find a club higher up, but good midfielder. 12 for passing, 11 for first touch, 12 for decision making, 10 for vision and work rate. It's pretty good all round and good stamina, which tells me that he's probably someone I need to keep around and develop as long as I possibly can, which is good news. And completing the bench, another new striker, Kit Elliott, can also play on the wings, which gives me that option to be a bit more versatile. This guy, 21 years old, has had an interesting career, and I'm not entirely sure why he dropped down to this level. He's played for Chelsea, for Crystal Palace, for Darlington, for Concord Rangers, for Cork City, and for Huddersfield in his time. And I mean, that's pretty right. He seems to have played for Chelsea, Palace, played for Palace and Huddersfield in the same season, so didn't like being at Palace, decided to go up north. I guess he thought he'd get more first-team chances. Didn't really work out that way. Anyway, he's dropped down to us. I don't want that screen, and we shall ignore it. His attributes, though, look at this for a striker. We'll highlight him as a striker because although he is a winger, of course, we can probably say he's going to play up top mostly. Although he can cross the ball, he's good finish, decent finishing, first touch of 13, passing of 12, technique of 11, leadership of 12, determination of 13, acceleration 13, pace 12, jumping reach even of 11. So he's going to be decent in most situations for us and could be a real threat of a player to bring off the bench. Late on in a game where one of the opposition are tiring, maybe he comes with a threat. So, without any further ado though, let's get into the game and see how this team performs, because that's what we're all here to see really. So, are we in for a good game? I hope so. Let's find out. So in our dressing room, everyone is looking nervous and hesitant and unsure for some reason, so we probably need to figure that out. I'm going to tell them it's time to put an end to this poor run of form and go out there and make it count. And I'm also going to tell the guys that I believe in them. Hopefully that will turn around some of that confidence lacking. It's not looking great, is it? I'm not getting many positive reactions. Harley Black has sort of come and reacted, which is nice. And Darnell Mintus has been G'd up a little bit by our little pre-match team talk. This guy's got an actual photo. That's cheeky. What do we know about Alex Parsons? Why does he get a photograph I guess it's because he plays for Worthing in real life and Sudbury have signed him. He's had an interesting little career. We'll see how he does. Having a picture always scares me at this level because that usually means they are quite the player and we should be worried. Kean Taylor, I'm pretty sure I've managed at some stage, but I don't remember where it would have been or if it was on this version of the game, but I'm pretty sure I've managed Kean Taylor at some stage. There we go, there's a fun thing. We are, of course, in our traditional blue and white stripes because we are playing at home, and Sudbury wear their home kit of yellow, which is odd because their badge is red, and I find that very confusing. We'll go with it, though, because we've got no choice, and we've got an early highlight for Sudbury. Harris to Kean Taylor. Harris into the box, or looking into the box. Bit of a ricochet. Ricky Smith heads it away. Clancy heads it on. Sanders to Awoyejo. I guess that would be Awoyejo. I don't know. Vegetali on the ball. First time I've seen him, and he gets his pocket picked almost immediately, which is not necessarily the one, but we've survived that, and Gore now on the ball for the goal kick. Headed away by Pollard. Bailey Dennis over the top looking for Dunn. Mellors, though, will find Lewis. Lewis to Lappin, who, of course, is our star man. I say that just as he gives the ball away to Parsons on the near side. And we will be in trouble if that keeps up. Pollard now on the ball. Feeling confident for sure because he just acted like he had all the time in the world right then, didn't he? Parsons, ball over the top looking for Dunn. Mellors there to break it down. Play it back to Gore. I'm going to do a little bit of a shout of encouragement, I think, at this point, as the ball goes forward. Pollard breaks it down. Sanders over the top. This is going to end in a goal. You can sort of feel it. Hurley heads it away to Harris. Cross in. Gore doesn't get there. Done. I mean, we were saved by Smith at the back there. We've got very, very lucky with that one. Clancy now with the big ball forward, looking for Mintus. Not going to find him with a ball like that. Statham picks up the ball for Sudbury at the back and hoofs it long. Ball goes long. Dunn to Taylor. Taylor over the top looking for Dunn again, and we don't want to concede now. It's come off the post. We have very, very luckily escaped there, and I'm starting to think maybe cautious was not the way to play this one, as Ainsworth gets a free kick. Gore tips it away. The fans before the game were saying they weren't happy he was playing, but he's made a good save there, and hopefully the first of many. Hopefully he'll find his form as Harris puts the ball into the box, headed away by Smith to Hawkins, and Hawkins has absolutely no support, so he gets to hold it up. Sanders tackles in, yellow card for Ed Sanders, and we're not going to see anything come from that, but at least we didn't see anything go in our net. Vegetali not having a great game so far. I may have to rethink how we're using him. So that's half time, and I mean, we haven't conceded yet, which is a good thing, I think. I think we're going to tell them to play without pressure now. See if that calms them down. Did lift some pressure. That's nice. That's good to see. Let's do some individual things, because that's going to be a good idea as well. Let's do before I do that, I completely lost track of what I was doing there. Let's tell Jack Lewis to not get another yellow card. That's good. Then we can focus on doing the various. I was distracted because my heater just randomly came on behind me, and it makes a weird whirring sound. I'm really sorry if you can hear that, because it's going to be a bugger to try and edit out. So I apologise, and we'll kick off the second half, and hopefully there is a goal in this for us somewhere. Free kick now for Sudbury. It's with Taylor to Taylor. I've sort of just decided as Harris picks up the ball, I'm going to try and get something from this game. We're going to go balanced, see if that helps. Parsons into the box. Ainsworth is there. Lionel Ainsworth is a name that rings a bell, and I don't know why, but he scored against us, and maybe going balanced is going to prove to be the right decision for us at this point, because we now need a goal to really start looking less like we're having a nightmare. Parsons with a good cross. Ainsworth back post puts it into the net. And, I mean, it was very, very Route 1 that, but that's also what we're trying to do, so I can't complain too much. We just need for some of our newer players to start doing their thing. Throw in now with Awoyejo, I'm never going to get that name right. Kean Taylor on the ball. I'm going to go more positive now, because Pollard to Awoyejo, I need to get something from this game. Done though. Romario Dunn makes it 2-0, sorry, with 20 minutes to go. And now it's time for a rethink of the tactics. I think I have had to make some changes. I'll go through them in a second because we'll re-tactic this together, I think, because that's a good idea. It's a good finish from Dunn, it has to be said. I need something from this game, and I'm not scared we're going to get a tight offside replay as well. I mean, it wasn't that tight, was it? Let's be honest. It wasn't that tight at all. Let's pause that very quickly. Let's go and do a tactics, because I should have something set up here in my tactics. I think I have a 4-3-3 sitting around waiting. There we go, a 4-3-3 DM wide. I had to take off Vegetali. He picked up a knock. Lewis was booked, so he came off, and Minter has come off for Kit Elliott. We're going to go with Hawkins, I think, as the lone forward here. We can reshuffle that if we need to. And we'll move Kit Elliott to the left-hand side, where apparently he's most comfortable, which is good. Was going to have to be Black at defensive midfield, because he's the only one there that can do it. And Lappin should hopefully be good anywhere, so we'll just work out what is best. I'm wondering what Tom Bell's best role is. Now I'm thinking about it, because if there's something he does well that we can use here, smart move here feels like we'll put him automatic, and they should do the same job he would have been doing, just better, is the hope. Is that a good idea? Having something, we're going to have to do it. We have to go with it, because that's how the tactic is set up. So hopefully it'll work. We do have a defensive weakness. The defence is something I need to be working on, and I am trying to find new defenders. It's just not coming easy at this level to try and find good defenders. I can always find the odd good midfielder or the odd good attacker, but finding good defenders is very, very hard. And sadly, that is full time, and things have not really worked out for us at all there. The subs that I brought on didn't really change the game. Kean Summers was not great. Kit Elliott was not great. Better than Mintus today, but not great. So I need to figure out how I'm going to get these new signings working in this team. I think I'm going to go with I'm not happy with your performance out there. People seem inspired. We'll leave it there. I don't want to go too hard on them. But we are going to have slipped down the table with that, I would think. And that's not really what we're looking for. We don't really want to be slipping down the table at this stage in the season. We are sort of getting towards the business end, so that's not the one, realistically. But we'll work out in a second where we're coming back. We'll see how things look, and hopefully there's something here to salvage from this. So the sad thing is that we've dropped down to 16th in the table, and we're now in a relegation fight that I didn't want to be coming. I was hoping we could make some headway, and we've not really done that. So that's a big disappointment that maybe I need to address tactically, and I need to work out what I'm going to do with this team. In terms of where we're coming back, I need to do a quick maths, because we've got 12 games left, so I guess we'll go forward 5, and we'll play Basildon, because Basildon are in this relegation fight with us. So that feels like it's a good plan going forward. We'll come back for that game, and hopefully we'll have found some kind of form or some kind of tactic that works, or some kind of anything. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I have been chasing lamely, and you're very welcome here. Thank you for coming. Don't forget, as I said before, like, subscribe, ring the bell. It really helps out the channel. We are heading towards 200 subs, which is kind of been a magic number stretch goal for me for a while. I was hoping, actually, when I started the channel, I'd be at 1,000 by now. But, you know, that's how life be sometimes. We'll get through it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you all very soon. Until next time, have a good one.